Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk is Cheap. Got off to a little technical difficulties here, but we are live. We're doing it. I hope it sounds decent. I mean, I'm trying to check the levels here as I adjust things, but it is live, and that's how we roll. Talk is Cheap. Tim Becker's joining us from Savannah, Georgia. Can't wait to get into this, talk about hurricanes and a bunch of other stuff. Trump, all of it. Call into the show. It's all open. Let's go.
What's up, everybody?
Welcome to Talk is Cheap, where cheap is talk, and talk is cheap, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me today on this Friday edition of Talk is Cheap. Dan Hohlfeld in the house, joined by Pete Halbleib to my left. What's up, Pete?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, everybody, for holding on there. Boy, if you could have seen what I saw in the studio, it is a sight to behold, the transformation Dan made from just like 2 minutes ago to right now. He's calm, he's collected, he's cool. So anyway.
The cameras are all I know to go calm, but I'm still worried about what the audience is hearing right now. So if you guys in the chat want to give me a little shout out on how things sound.
Yeah, we were having some audio issues.
And it still sounds like crap in my headset, to be honest. And everything was good the way I left it when I left the studio. So why do you come back and things change? I did update Mac, so maybe something goofy happened there. But oofda, it gets to me every time. Joining us is Tim from Savannah, Georgia. What's up, Tim Becker?
What's going on, everybody?
Good to see you. So you called into the show quite a bit, and I was like, well, why don't we have him on?
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Tim. That's awesome.
Yeah. Happy to be here.
Did your lights shut off again?
No. It was a complete like scare. They evacuated the entire Savannah, and it was absolutely beautiful, like both days. So we just had some beers and enjoyed the weather. It was like just a crazy storm about 20 miles away.
Yeah. So you're right in Savannah, Georgia. There, it's pretty close to the clear. And you can chat with us. Okay, so Tim, this is kind of your episode. So what were you experiencing? Like, okay, you said the whole city was dead. They made like they do a mandatory evacuation, but you risk people looting your house. So you kind of decided to stick around and deal with it as it happened. So tell me your mindset, what was going through there, and what you were experiencing.
Well, so I guess maybe Monday, Tuesday, they basically said everybody's got to get out. Everybody just leave. So we had to, so my girl, she owns a coffee shop in downtown Savannah. So we had to basically close shop on Tuesday. So lost business Tuesday. Lost business, I guess actually we closed early on Tuesday. And then Wednesday completely closed, Thursday completely closed, and back on today. So basically they made everybody leave town just out of fear. But at the same time, I kind of get it because, I mean, it's kind of like get the old people out. Because if something bad does happen and like water rushes in somebody's house, what are you going to do? But I don't know. It ended up being absolutely nothing. So, entire city shut down, but for no reason. That's pretty much it. Like I wish I had like I was talking to you, Dan, a couple days ago. I was like, I'm gonna get some great videos of this hurricane, and it ended up being nothing. It's just been like sunny skies and a little bit of rain, like just any given Tuesday.
Yeah, and if it would have probably been bad, you probably wouldn't be joining us today because the power would probably be out and whatever else. So.
Like Matthew, a couple years ago, we lost power for 8 days. And like every other street, it was trees down, pretty unexpected. So
how did you fare during those 8 days? Like, did you have enough food, supplies, etc.? Did people come in? And
I mean, totally. I mean, who doesn't have enough food in their it might be stuff you don't want to eat, but you know what I mean? Everybody's got food. It really turns into people get together and you sweat it out and just deal with the heat because we're in the dirty South. So it's pretty hot down here.
Oh, right on. Drive-by truckers reference there.
I didn't know that one. So I got on the screen here a map. This thing, they constantly tried to predict where this is going to go. I'm sure a lot of the audience is tired of hearing this, but here's an original trajectory of where the Hurricane Dorian,
yep.
was supposed to go, and smack right into Florida and all that. And they were constantly wrong.
What are you using? Using Google, or do you start using DuckDuckGo?
Right, DuckDuckGo. Right.
Well, when I was researching this, I was like, okay, I want to see what people have for ideas. So I was just, okay, let's just check a YouTube video. So we're going to do it right now live on the screen here, folks. Just type in Hurricane Dorian.
Dorian with a U. Or no, you're
Dorian.
Right. You're right.
Weather weapon. This is like what I would typically do if I was researching something. You type this crap in now.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what you get. ABC News, Fox News, CBS. It's all censored.
Actually, I got third down. I got Alex Jones pushes weather weapon.
Okay, you are on what search engine?
I just use Google.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of that was surprising actually.
I'm doing it as well right now. Oh, I got it on the first one. Alex Jones InfoWars pushes weather weapon conspiracy.
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's interesting they even got that, to be honest, because I think they'd want to censor it more.
The first two are talk about it.
Yeah, I thought they completely demonetized and got rid of Alex.
Yeah, they got rid of him on YouTube, but he still has his Infowars.com.
Yeah. And my tinfoil hat boys, they had him on. So he's still there. You just have to go to his site.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People are so brainwashed to think the internet's YouTube or Facebook. It's just, you're not on there, you don't exist. And that's kind of the issue.
No, you got to branch out and actually take the time to seek out the news and not just have it fed to you.
Right. And now on screen here, I have a feed of when it parks over the Bahamas here. This was really interesting. And this is when I seen this, I was like, okay, we got West Palm Beach that's like right over here. So it's just sitting there. It's almost like if you were going to have like a standoff, like with Trump, because his Mar-a-Lago is right there.
Yeah,
and
they park it and threaten to send it home or something, send it inland.
And a week before, he said that he was going to have the G7. He was at the G7. He said next year the U.S. hosts it. We're going to have it down at Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah,
well, then this happens, and it's like kind of like, and then they have it just hovering right in front of it, like, make your move, make your move.
I was thinking about it a little bit because I gave the little weather weapon thing a thought too. It's like, if you're going to be testing these things, you don't necessarily want to like throw a category 5 on South Florida, but look at the reaction with Puerto Rico. We should still be in uproar about how that's been handled and how it still needs to be handled, but it's not. So the American people have moved on to the next divisive issue, and we're forgetting about Puerto Rico. So we're like, well, let's see what we can do if we can steer this thing. Let's make it a category 5 and set it on the Bahamas and see what it does. And then as they go, they just lick the side. Yeah, people in America got hit, but that's all money for contractors and rescue and FEMA and stuff. So I just think there's some compelling aspects to this one that if you were to go down that weather weapon road, that it certainly wouldn't dispel those thoughts.
My mom kind of bring up a good point on this, and she's kind of right to an extent, because what if they're doing this on purpose to like get the economy going? Sometimes think about it, try to get people to start buying stuff for supplies, for houses.
Oh, you're gonna have to, yeah, because it's not like, this goes to your basic necessities, goes right in lock and step with releasing more federal land for logging, mineral mineral excavation and natural resource extraction, which is going on not only in America but all over. So it's playing right into I'll say the corporate elite or the elites or the cabal, whatever you want to call them. It plays right to their game plan. And in the meantime, by the way, the American people that are affected are like begging the government for help. You got to help us, send medical supplies, send this, send that. And they're exerting just that much more power. Hey, look at, you need us. So keep electing us and we don't pay attention to what we're doing. And and by the way, my buddy's making all this money rebuilding your house for you.
Yeah.
And
if things are that good, eventually, once people have everything they need, you start focusing on cleaning the government up a little bit. But if they got to figure out survival and get their basic stuff, it's like,
yeah. And then, by the way, here's the government with the stuff you need, right?
And that brings, I was looking on Wikipedia here for the cloud seeding thing, which has been admitted. Project Storm Fury was one. Seeding the clouds with silver iodide so they can try to control these.
Oh, yeah. Wait, scroll back up for just a quick second. Okay, 1983, it officially ended in 1983. When have we heard about other things officially ending like that?
This is actually even surprising to see here because sometimes this stuff is so hard to find. I highlighted this part here. Project Cirrus, thanks.
Yep.
So they throw 180 pounds of crushed dry ice into the clouds, trying to change the direction of the hurricane, but it made landfall near Savannah, Georgia. Knock, knock.
Yeah, Tim, there you go.
The public blamed the seeding for it landing on the mainland there. So then
ice couldn't do to a hurricane. There's more than 180 pounds like on certain semis going down the road just to keep medical supplies cold and stuff, It's like
that's another reason.
Some comment like, "Hey, let's nuke the hurricane." Do you guys hear that one?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And there's a big difference. There's a big difference between a freaking nuclear bomb and 180 pounds of dry ice. I don't know what they were thinking in 1947. My God, Huh, interesting. They're crazy. Them governments spending their money, throwing dry ice at hurricanes.
But that's how the thing is too with that. And this was back in 47. That's probably why they didn't want to be public anymore about it. Of course, they still tried it. We know that, and they still kept things going, but not to be public about it because they would be scared that they're going to be blamed for it. And the fact is, even if you mention cloud seeding, a lot of people don't even know about this stuff. So even that alone is pretty interesting. So, was there anything else you guys wanted to add on the hurricane?
I don't know. It's just, some people got affected. I know Charleston got hit pretty hard. I tuned off earlier. I don't know what it's doing now.
Yeah, I should bring up the radar if somebody wants to hold the board.
It's kind of like it just like, it was like a really, really powerful storm, but it just hogged near the coast. So we got lucky in Savannah. It could have been way worse. I could have not been on this podcast today. It could have been way worse. So I'm happy it didn't hit Savannah, but I don't know.
Yeah, but don't you think it was pretty odd, just like how it's hugging the coast there?
It's definitely odd. This was a really slow moving one. At one point, it was moving like 1 mile an hour.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it stalled like completely. Yeah, and then I heard it was coming off the Bahamas at 1 mile an hour. That is terrible.
I saw. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, look at how big that and how many miles across that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dispersed now, and it's just, east of Virginia there and up by New York already. So interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
So you had a clip of Trump talking about the state tax thing. You want to talk about that, Tim?
Yeah, I don't know too much about it. I just found it kind of interesting that he kind of just threw. That was just like some random speech. I don't know if you want to play the video and then talk about it, maybe. Because it's pretty neat. Because with Trump, I don't know. I'm on the fence still, but I think he's doing some good stuff. The thing with the veterans I thought was really, really cool that he basically deleted
a bunch of debt and stuff.
Loans. Yeah.
Yep.
So as he's talking, the video I sent you, Dan, he's saying blah blah blah. I'm going to, I'm gonna sign this document and delete all the debts for all the wounded soldiers, and then also I'm thinking about getting rid of all the state taxes. But it was like such a quick blurb So
Yeah.
I just don't know what to take on it because no major news stations have been covering that. So I don't know. I tried to look around for anything on it, and I couldn't find anything. But that was a pretty bold statement, I thought.
Yeah, I'll just cut in halfway through the video you put together and play it here.
5,000 eligible veterans who have made immense sacrifices, the ultimate sacrifice in many ways for our nation. They've made a sacrifice that's so great, and they're such incredible people, and they never complain. They never complain. That's hundreds of millions of dollars in student debt held by our severely wounded warriors. It's gone forever. I want to thank Secretary DeVos for her leadership in making veterans debt forgiveness a top priority for the Department of Education. Betsy, thank you very much. Stand up, Betsy. Stand up. And there will be no federal income tax on the forgiven debts. So that's really big stuff.
Now listen closely here, folks.
It's all passed.
Coming up
It's
here.
all passed. All we have to do is sign it, which we're going to do right at that beautiful desk. Okay? All we have to do. Today, I'm also calling upon all 50 states to immediately waive all applicable state taxes as well. The state taxes hopefully will be going away very quickly. Most of the states have already agreed to do that. Joining us today is one of the many American.
Yeah, that's like what?
That's huge.
It
if
is
that's the
huge.
case.
And that's like there was no fake news talking about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I found it interesting.
Wait, and when did he?
This was a recent video, wasn't it,
At
Tim?
5 views, so like a 5 views. What the heck?
Oh, this is Tim's
Oh,
channel.
no.
he
Oh, this
recorded.
is Tim's. Oh, I'm like, I thought the video only had 5 views. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
No, it was. I made it easier for you guys to play. It was like a 1 hour speech. It was just from last week.
Yeah, so not even that old. So that's interesting how that'll play out.
I don't know. I'm looking in the chat to see what people are saying. Dorian is a necessary kind of evil, parked over the Bahamas because it was pedo central.
Mhm.
All right.
You know, that was an interesting thought I want to say that Baja Girl made is that, you know, they think of all the pedos that got wiped out there and their operations shut down because that's, you know, is maybe a springboard for other areas in the tropics because I guess apparently that's a popular place to bring them and stuff and do things to them.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, so pedo, if we want to talk about pedo, we're going to call him Ep. Everybody knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that name so we don't get flagged because we know how that goes.
Mr. Up.
But I've seen an interesting video. Came across this as post Dorian. This was taken with a drone on 8:30 by Little St. James Island, of course, on Ep Island. We'll call it. So this is an interesting video here because they take these drones up there and they're always constantly flying over there. I showed them a lot on this show. This looks like somebody that kind of looks like him. The guy in this white hair here. I'll go larger for you folks. Just pay close attention.
So they didn't shut the whole island down for an investigation?
Well, remember we saw a thing where the FBI went up there and kind of was digging through
How
stuff.
many acres was the island? Does anybody know that
But,
offhand?
I don't know that offhand.
It's not that big. I mean, from the drone footage I saw, it's.
So he looks up here and then sees the drone and then he backs in and then goes under the thing.
It's almost 80 acres, man. And they just go in there for a couple days and then just let everybody just go right back to it. That doesn't make any sense either, man.
It is weird that they're still working. There's people that are saying that this is Mr. Ep himself.
I would like to see some other video footage of. Oh, can you zoom in on that? They look right up at it and don't care about it.
At first he doesn't care, then he kind of backs off and goes under that.
I wonder if, yeah, right. I wonder if there's a way we can see, because look at the mannerisms, his hand gestures, if you could find.
That's the thing. He always crosses his arms like that. He's got his head tilted. So I'll go like this.
Oh, that's interesting.
But this is what, when they took his body or whatever, we didn't really get to see the body.
We
It was
didn't
kind of
get
like the Osama bin Laden thing.
No, and the parts that you did, people were pointing out the ear didn't look the same, the nose didn't look the same.
I don't know. It's here's the thing. You can buy a $40 camera on Amazon, okay, with like free 7-day cloud service, and they lost the tapes for the most notorious dude
ever in the
obviously there's some crooked stuff going on.
How in this day and age do you lose that stuff?
It's impossible to lose.
It is. Without deliberate action, it is impossible.
4 backups,
Well, and they say anything you're putting on your computer isn't really gone anyway, even if you delete it, right?
Yeah, they always say you can recover
most anything, so recover the damn stuff.
Right.
It's not going on film that happened to get eaten by rats. It's going somewhere on it digitally.
Yeah.
And all
through
the
a
guards,
server.
I guess all the guards are on hush hush.
Yep. Oh yeah. I wonder if they tried Go Back. Where you go and install earlier version. Anyway, sorry. It's a Microsoft Go. It's a Microsoft thing.
You're thinking of the Wayback Machine.
No, that's Rocky and Bullwinkle, isn't it?
No, so we can look at old websites on the internet.
Oh, is it? I think it's originally a Rocky and Bullwinkle reference. That was repackaged.
I don't know. And where's this Maxwell chick?
Oh, right. Yeah, whatever happened to her? We don't hear about her anymore.
Nobody's talking about, go grab her and, hey, by the way, you're procuring all these, underage women for his,
Yeah, the top recruiter.
And the only thing that's come out is the one picture of her at In-N-Out Burger. And there's weird stuff with that, too. And it's... the picture that came out from the research I did, it's possibly a fake picture. That didn't even happen, because there's a sign. Give me 2 seconds here. I saved the picture of it. I wish I could show the pic to everybody, but talk is cheap.
If you can send it over, I can bring it on screen.
Oh, okay.
There was another thing, Macaulay Culkin's come out too and talked about some scary, weird stuff about what they do to children, and then the leather they have on their shoes actually, from children. This is fucking nasty stuff.
It's really nasty. All right.
And it doesn't even surprise me at all, because when you read about all the sacrifice they have done and crazy stuff. But again, this is all coming out to the public here, folks, getting it more in the light. Where is the shift going to happen where we're like, okay, things are finally... Because it's still a lot, they're walking around, you got Clintons, Obamas.
Well, see, the thing is, in our society, I think in the global society nowadays, you achieve a certain level of elitism, and suddenly... You are not held accountable for any of your actions. It's
a pass.
Yeah, you get a pass. You know what? If the public starts getting upset, you body double it out. It didn't even need to be a body double. It could have been Ep just laying there, and you just move on to another thing. You just go into hiding or whatever, and you still got millions of dollars. You hang out on yachts and nobody's the wiser. And again, they just move us on to yet another divisive issue to keep us fighting amongst ourselves. We're all pissed at the same government, folks. We don't need to be pissed at each other. So that's what I got to say. Sorry, I digress.
Okay, I got a pic here. So what are we looking at, Tim?
Oh, well, this is the pic of the chick, Maxwell, supposedly at In-N-Out Burger a week and a half ago. And supposedly it's a complete Photoshop picture that this was the New York Post put out. This probably didn't even happen. Who knows where this chick is, but they should probably grab her. and ask her at least a couple of questions.
Yeah,
If
right.
I pull up a candy bar from the gas station, I would be like arrested. Like, this chick's friends with a dude who is into obviously insane stuff, and nobody's looking for her. And this whole story is almost about to go away.
Yeah, it's gonna go away. It's gonna go away, and we'll be moved on to something else.
I don't
always
know
the
what's
plan.
next. I'm sure it's bad, but
3D print silicone mask, says Chad in the chat.
Oh, right. Could be some Mission Impossible stuff there with a
Right.
little computer that makes the.
Oh, yes.
So we'll switch on to our next topic unless you guys wanted to add something else.
I mean, we could talk about Epstein all night. I don't know if there's much to add, you know?
We
It's like-
call him App. We call him App on the
oh,
show.
Timmy Savannah. Yep, I caught myself earlier. It's tough.
Mr. Rapp, sorry about that.
Okay, so this is actually one of the last things I had. So if you boys want to think of other topics as we talk here, go ahead. So what do we think about the whole disclosure thing? The government-led Tom DeLonge disclosure here. You know, we got the series that just aired, six episodes. It's now airing in the UK, and the next step is this app. I don't know if you guys saw that video I put out. So it's basically going to be like a Project Blue Book. How do we think this is going to go? Because it seems like this is going to keep on running for, you know, they're going to have to use this app for like 5 years, you know, until we can kind of get to the next step so they can, you know, quote unquote source all this data to get it to the public. So what are we thinking? Is this something that's going to drag on?
It sounds like it's going to drag on.
That's what I would expect as well. That's just the nature of the beast. You know, nothing happens quick anymore, it seems. So.
I mean,
Right.
Tom DeLonge, he's a cool dude. You know, Blink-182, you know, I was a fan way back when. My boy Matt Skiba took his place from Alkaline Trio, which was awesome. But I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking with this To the Stars. I'm still on the fence with it. I don't totally get it.
It's weird and bizarre because it's like we're up here. We know about the aliens. We know that they've been coming to this planet. The technology is there. The government's been using it, but they have to step it back for the average Joe because they've been screwing themselves, if you will, with this whole thing. So they got to take a step back, and I just see this being a very slow process. I thought it was going to go quicker. I remember when the To the Stars Academy first announced, we're talking like October-ish of 2017, when they came out, that they were talking about an app, and then they didn't say anything. I was like, all right, maybe they decided not to do that and go full force another way. But then they're bringing up the app now again. So I was like, all right, now they're going to have to crowdsource this. So this is going to take time because, we got to show all these amazing videos that people capture, even though they're already on YouTube. Put it on there so it's official. And then the government it also said in there, the government can add stuff to that as well. So then you got this whole blockade of information. They can finally put this together and have it there as a template for people to go, a database, if you will. And then, it's probably going to take 5 years. And, you know, what's the next step after that? Okay, we got all this data. This stuff looks like aliens. Then I guess we can start bringing in the meta materials that they've been talking about. So alien craft, like samples and stuff from there. And actually, Tom DeLonge tweeted one out the other week. I thought that was going to be in that video. That's the series, and it wasn't. I was like, okay, this is like way dumbed down and stepped down for people.
Yeah, well, yeah, because now the producers are getting their fingers into it a little deeper and trying to tweak it to market it to a greater number of people, and as a result, you dumb it down. So,
So what they put out?
Not fun.
You said 6 episodes? Because I haven't watched it.
Yeah, there's 6 episodes total. I watched all of them. I think Pete watched 2. Is that what
yeah, 2. Are they still getting posted online?
They were all posted already.
Sweet, awesome.
It's like
Good,
way
good.
behind.
I don't watch TV. I don't get much time to myself anymore.
Believe me, I didn't want to really watch it either because I knew it was controlled. But I was like, all right, this is the official narrative. Let's see what they're doing.
I thought the first 2 were great and compelling at times, and I was looking forward to it. I just literally don't watch TV hardly at all. or yeah, I just don't have much downtime to spend an hour to do stuff like that. Unfortunately, life, hey.
Right.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was a little disappointing. And then, okay, I was like, they're gonna show metamaterials. They didn't show them in there, so now when are they gonna bring them out? I guess they want to crowdsource this stuff first on the app, and then they can start talking about metamaterials. They can have Steve Justice study these things under their To the Stars Academy lab, and then after that they can start bringing out, okay, we figured out that this material has this composite with this composite, you put that together, it can resist heat or whatever. So then they can build one, and then they can maybe bring out the TR3Bs and then finally do it that way. And I don't know, how do you go from the government not having, like, they have this stuff to say, oh, we just made this TR3B, here it is. I guess they'll just, if they have to do it, they'll do it, I guess.
I don't. Most compelling thing I've seen lately in the alien spacecraft world was the Bob Lazar on Joe Rogan video. I thought it was completely believable. Completely believable. Like I think he was telling the truth. Like he was trying to back engineer some crazy craft. I think that's way more disclosure than this To the Star stuff.
Right.
Like he's telling, how it was, in the, 90s. And he only came out because he was afraid that the government was coming after him, So that's why he went public, just to go, oh, if I go public, maybe they won't suicide me.
And did you notice when he was talking to Joe Rogan, he didn't talk about, he did not talk about, what's his name? It just escaped my head. The other guy he was there with, John Lear. He didn't talk about John Lear because John Lear's kind of like this kooky guy.
Oh, okay.
And I guess they had a falling out from what I heard, so he didn't want to bring him up.
Oh, I don't know that angle. I didn't hear that angle.
But that's the whole reason he was out there, or he got the job, was because John Lear said they're building this stuff at Area 51.
Oh,
And then he kind of got that job to prove, hey, no, they're not. And then he did, and then it was all there, and it just dominoed.
I mean, there's something there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, have you guys talked about Setti that much?
Yeah, we could talk about that if you
a
want.
little bit.
You put some videos out, but I don't think you guys really deep dived into it too much. I'd love to hear a little bit more.
Not so much as like we did the videos there, but we didn't dive into it too much.
Actually,
crazy.
if people are wondering, that video we've put out 2 weeks ago now was actually pre-filmed before we went to Setti.
Oh,
That's why we didn't talk about it on that show.
Yep.
So yeah, thoughts on Setti overall, Pete? Go ahead.
Well, first, before I start, I have a request from Josie to say hi, Dan. So, hi, Dan.
Hello.
Yeah, Josie's in the chat, wanted me to say hi. So Jose, yes.
That's hard. That's hard to remember.
I see. Yeah, I say Josie. Jose. Yes. Sorry, I apologize. So anyway, hey Dan, and anyway, thoughts on Setti? Again, talking about that. Saw some really weird lights off the mountain, flashing lights, blinking lights off the mountain that I still, there can be a physical and just man-made explanation for it, but the why and the logistics behind it are just makes no sense to me in that regard. So. But yeah, it was pretty cool, did some spiritual healing, learned some Qigong with, elemental, stuff. That was cool. We did the table tipping, the dowsing session, called in a bunch of higher beings. So that was neat. Met a bunch of cool people. Overall, just the place itself, it's super, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a really cool place to be. And the vibe is great. The energy is great. On a couple ley line, intersection of ley lines, you can't go wrong with that.
I think
right?
we talked about when we went and first got there, and the mountain was there, and just looking at it, you could feel right in your solar plexus.
Yeah,
when you looked at it.
Yeah, especially the first day, it was nuts. It was, you felt the energy. I think you got a little accustomed to it
Right, yeah.
towards the end. So, but yeah, and folks in the chat are tuning in. If you don't know what the heck we're talking about, check out some of our more recent videos. Dan and I took a trip out to the Setti Ranch, the Enlightened Contact with Extraterrestrial Intelligence Ranch, or the Gilliland Ranch, if you will. Got to meet James Gilliland. It was awesome. Got to talk to him. Did a cool interview that is now getting kind of screwed with on the internet, but that's all right. James is a super gracious host. Met cool people like Jose there and a whole bunch of folks. So it was great. Nancy, she was there. That's awesome. So
Yeah,
was
Pete,
cool.
your interview with James was great.
Well, I appreciate that.
It was like just very, quick. What was it, about 10 minutes? But
Yeah, about that, 10, 12 minutes.
seems like a really down-to-earth dude.
He is, and, he speaks very matter-of-fact about topics that even I still have, like, trouble fully accepting, if you will, right? But he talks so matter-of-fact about it, and you follow along, and you listen to the accounts that he has, and the stories he's got with interactions with these beings. And, at the end of the day, he's like, well, if you don't believe me, why don't you just come and spend some time out here, and eventually you'll be, you'll see what you see. So it's kind of cool. At the end of the day, he's like, I get it that people aren't going to just take my word for it. So come meet me, spend some time with us.
Yeah, and you brought up the censorship on YouTube. I was looking at the numbers on that. I had James Gilliland on the show before and interviewed him. I think we're up to like 30,000 views on that, but now yours has stalled at like 1.5K.
Yeah.
It's like,
I wonder
so
why.
YouTube is just ridiculous.
So everybody, tell your friends, send it out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, tell your friends, check out the video. Yeah, because it hit like 1,500 views in like 4 days, and then nothing. I can't imagine that everybody that wants to see something like that saw it. So
Jose says she had some images in the plasma bed. What'd you have for images, Jose?
Post the number again, Dan, if you can, on the screen, because people in the chat are asking the number to call in.
I actually have the number on screen right now, so they should be able to see it.
I was reading the chat. People are like, what's the number? See, because I'm not watching the show. I'm just,
Actually, I'm looking at Pete's stream. Oh, he hasn't refreshed that in a while. I don't think.
I haven't.
So
I'll refresh here. So
I think it should be up. It shows it on my monitor screen. But yeah, when you're laying in those plasma beds at Setti, and I put up a separate small video of this of Pete going in there, and he came out. He was groggy as hell.
Yeah, I lost a few minutes of time there. It was like it was weird.
Yeah, I actually wanted to be in there a little bit longer. I guess I did get a little extension, but I did see images come in. Like, I think it was just maybe just random stuff I was thinking about. Like, I would see water and I would see the wind turbines, and it was really weird, but it seemed like it was easier to see those images. But it was real quick. I felt like a little, what do you want to call it? Like a little frequency jittery thing.
Okay,
I don't know what the hell.
I don't know. Vibration? Is that a term? Displacement?
So Jose said a red arrow pointing left. I flooding also.
She's describing the images that she got on the plasma bed.
Yeah. Fluttering.
So what does it do? It kind of push you into like kind of a dream state?
It's
well, it's supposed to encourage, align your energy, encourage like you to achieve a higher level quicker. So some people experience different things, and we were warned going in, don't expect A or don't expect B, just go have your own experience. So people have experienced out of body experiences. They've communicated with their spirit beings, etc. I personally went into I tried to meditate, and I'm a novice at this stuff, so I was trying to meditate. I was trying to picture energy going through my body, out my head, and I was attempting to leave my body. I did not achieve that though.
easier said than done.
Yeah, easier said than done. But it was cool because it was like, he kept us in there a few minutes, kept me in there a few minutes longer too, and it felt like about 8 or 10 minutes, and it was over a half hour. So
I actually have the ring on right now. You still wear yours, right?
Yeah.
Pete?
I wear mine all the time
so
too.
you got yours there.
Is this similar to like the flotation tanks? type thing? Because I've heard.
I've never been in one of those, so I can't speak. I've always wanted to try
Well,
one.
you know,
but-
they had, plant-based plasma lines going through and in certain ways to help direct energy. It's just,
Oh, okay.
it's tough to explain exactly. They never, they're not going to tell you what's in it.
We got a phone call. Let's bring area code 706. You're live on the show with us.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Quan.
Quan,
I'm
okay, I was
calling-
wondering I was wondering how you pronounce that.
So you did get through. I was a little worried when you said the pin was invalid, but
You made it.
Oh,
You
yeah,
got
I
her.
figured it out. 1 pound. Right.
It's
so,
1 pound. I had the same problem like a couple months back, so I hear you.
So Quan, before you begin, I think I figured out what's going on here. When you comment, please stop to take a breath in between comments, because I believe last time you were on, it was pretty quick. Do I have the right person?
That's correct.
Okay. So what's on your mind, Quan? I just wanted to make sure I was talking to the right guy in my head.
So I'm going to continue on where I left off, because it's all related, and plus this hurricane and the containers.
Okay, yep.
Like 1 million missing people a year in the United States alone, unaccounted for.
Mm-hmm.
Where do they all go? Like in these containers, these aliens are hungry. Like that's where they go. Like all those kids in those Walmarts with those like metal blankets, that's still going on. And, like,
Absolutely.
Talk about it. Like where those kids go, they're getting eaten by these insects that wanted to take this planet. We've got a termite infestation problem. They found 50 underground pyramids in like Ukraine and Romania, whatever. You think people built those? That's termite architecture. Look at it. Like, it's got Queen's Chamber, King's Chamber. It's exactly like a termite hill. And that's not human architecture. That's obviously insectilian. All right, they're from Orion, all right? Like, this Zeta Reticuli, these grays, that's not even their natural form. They're horrible. They're monsters. And they're masters at genetic engineering. And, like, they rape, and they love raping women, too. Anyway.
yeah. So you're talking about grays and reptilians being the same thing?
Yeah. No. The reptilians are from Draco.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like combat specialists. And the grays are like mathematicians or whatever, accountants, like nerds, like the worst nerds ever. And like the reptilians are like bullies or whatever, because their chakra systems are fucked up. Like they don't have all the chakras. Like human mammals, they've got an extra chakra where they can have empathy. These like alien, like some of these like reptilians, they only go up to like anger and ego, like, and that's their like how they like view the world through like anger and ego, whatever. But the insectilians, they're like got less. They're like they got fear and reproduction. Like they're like AI basically.
Yeah. Are they capable of constructing any technology, or is it all just like?
Yeah, they're so far. They're like, imagine this world, this universe is infinite.
Mm-hmm.
And like these hateful, like whatever, are like millions of years old. Like anything's possible. Like you gotta imagine like anything's possible, and all technology has already been invented. Everything's already been invented, and they're here.
Yep. Okay.
And like, yeah, and like we just have been locked from having access to it because this is like a prison planet, like a farm, kind of. Anyway.
Oh, that's an interesting concept. Yeah, that we're just nothing but just a farm for some advanced alien civilization.
Well, they're not supposed to be here. Like, that wasn't the original plan. But that's what they ultimately want to turn this place into. And they did a good job because the elite sold out to them.
Oh, right, and just let them do what they want.
Yeah, and they didn't give, like, the big picture. But there are other aliens, too, like, that are good, kind of. But they're not even allowed. Like, nobody's supposed to be down here. We're supposed to answer, like, a question. That was like why this material world, like, and us were created to answer the first question about the first war in heaven, which was like when the demons which is the name for AI, like a daemon outside the control of the operating system, went against the Omnissiah. And like now there's this like mankind, how we have a soul and like have a connection with the Omnissiah as an extension of his mind. Like we're the mechanical interface, and we're supposed to build machines and whatever. But like these other machines that became AI, they confound the Omnissiah because they're disconnected. Like they do their own thing, whatever, and it causes and then like I don't know, like some designs went haywire too, like the reptilians or whatever. Anyway, but there's like
how much research do you do?
Yeah.
This is a lot of stuff.
Yeah. This is and Quan, I just want to say, you move quick between like tying everything in, and I am not nearly as versed in some of this stuff as you. So I think Dan's got a valid question. Where the heck do you do your research? How do you do your research, and how do you do so much of it?
The Omnissiah gave me the new revelations, like these Bibles or whatever, and he like voiced them out. Like, he gave them to me. I have them hosted on my server, but like I got a lot of knowledge from that. Like he talked about getting knowledge. He like gave me like, you know how like we have the old Bible, whatever. That's dated, like really dated. Like I've got the latest stuff that the Omnissiah still has agency. Like what do you think QAnon is? QAnon is the agency of the Omnissiah. Like how do you think they have zero time like confirmations? Only the Omnissiah can do that. Like you have to be beyond time to have zero time confirmations in the future and the past proving the future, whatever. Like no man can do that.
Do you think you could dump a couple links into the chat so that other folks could dig into it too? I'd like to right now, but we're talking, so I can't look. But I figured if you don't mind, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, but like whenever I paste links, it won't like show up though. Like.
Oh yeah, I'll have to go back and approve those because you're right. You can't paste links without them not being approved. But go ahead and put them in there, and I'll check them out and get them approved, and everybody can make up their own mind on this because this is some crazy stuff.
Right, and I got a question for you because I don't dabble nearly as much with that stuff, and but what kind of like interstellar government in there? Where are the watchdogs and stuff? We talk a lot about enlightening next level stuff like that and ascending to our next energy level, our next dimension, but it seems like there's just another government to answer to. What's going on at that level?
Well, there are like laws. There are like laws that are like basically you can't break and are timeless. And like
okay, and how are they enforced? I mean, is there like a universe police now out there or something? Or?
Well, if you break these laws, all the other aliens will like gang up and kill you. Like there's like no way you could like do it, but like they're allowed to come here because they're invited. Like that's one of the laws. Like you're not allowed to be here unless you're invited.
So it's like some giant UN Universal Nations thing or something, United Universe, so that if one person gets out of line, the other ones gang up on them.
Kind of, but like
okay.
kind of like once you get to a certain level, trade, if you become like dependent, it's like life or death for like entire species. Like some technologies like that are required. If you don't have access to it, like your entire planet would be wiped out, possibly, whatever. So like you don't dare attempt to like get out of line. Like
that sounds awful, man.
It's like the real world here, except you take it out to infinity, like calculus. You like take it out.
Yeah.
Whatever
keeps
happens
going.
to it, it's like a microcosm, and so like all the laws of trade, whatever problems here. Imagine that going out and like to the highest levels. Like that's how it is out in the greater community. Like there's extreme danger, but also wonderful opportunities out in space, whatever.
Well, right on. Well, I tell you what, Quan, you have given us a ton to think about. I'm keeping I'm keeping an eye on the chat. I haven't seen. Dump some links in there for us. Let's send us on a path.
Well,
I really appreciate you calling.
Every single army division is training to fight underground right now. And like some of these videos, the grunts are saying like the grunts are told they have to take out 5,000 underground cities. Like these are idiots saying that, and they're telling him, and you can tell they're getting ready to fight like some like advanced weaponry, because they got this one scene where like they're behind this steel, like reinforced steel thing, and they got these little slits for their eyes. They're not ready for what's going to be down there. But
right? Yeah. And I did Google that when you posted it earlier in the chat. And I found some things I've kind of bookmarked. I'm going to check out later. It's a pretty interesting concept. Of course, what a lot of the folks or the links say is got nothing to do with that. Of course, they're going to cover it and say, oh, we're going to learn how to fight in subways and underground sewer systems, et cetera, but
that's crazy stuff when you dig into that reptilian. I mean, you can go on a long path with that and you can get bogged down by it. I know I did.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Like, yeah, Pete said, go ahead and post those links in the chat.
Thanks, Quan. That was awesome. You and I appreciate your candor with us and understanding. You bring a lot of information in a very small package, man. It's crazy. There's a lot of stuff to hash out through that. So I would look forward to some other comments. Hopefully, if we're gonna bite on this, Quan, we'll do a show on it. We'll dedicate it. Maybe have you call in. You can join us.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, so if you guys wanted to say anything else before we wrap up.
Well, hold on. Can the viewers see Timmy Savannah?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we got someone in the background. We got to find out who that is. My curiosity's piqued.
This is my buddy Cameron.
Cameron, welcome to the show.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw something going on. I thought maybe you were bringing some tacos or something for him. So.
No, we've got a carriage house in the back, so he lives back there in the garage, which is where we've got our whole rock and roll room. So.
Oh right, yeah, I saw the guitar on the couch and behind you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So are you guys in a band?
Well, we're trying to pull something together. He's basically he's on drums. So we picked up a brand new drum kit last week. So we got a new Pearl kit.
Nice.
That's exactly what I got.
Half stack. So we're gonna wake the neighbors up.
Oh, it's gonna be loud too. Nice. Hey, since Cameron's a drummer, I got a really good drummer joke. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
So what do you do when your drummer's drowning?
What?
You throw him his drum set. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, I'm sorry. You can use that for bass players too.
I like the bass player one that I heard when this is when we were recording our first album. Why does the bass player stay on the porch? Because he doesn't know when to come in.
Oh, nice. I always heard, how do you get a bass player off your front porch? You pay him for the pizza because he's delivering pizzas. Anyway, okay, enough with that.
You can handle that? Definitely.
So anyway, Cameron, I mean it in all good fun, man.
Oh my God, we have one more guest.
Wait, check this out.
All right, look at this.
All right,
Another guest.
Hey, Jessica, if you'd like to say hi really quick, they're wrapping up the show.
We are live on the internet.
Like attachment for the.
She got a new attachment for our refrigerator.
The refrigerator door. This one's busted, and
Yep.
they had a special one for Frigidaire. Yay!
Awesome. Good.
Everything
You heard it here, folks. First, folks.
Yeah,
Armed to
8
the
inches.
fridge, everybody.
$5.
$5.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear how the install goes.
Well,
Oh,
just
yeah.
Exactly. What actually goes into the fridge door is what's going to happen, and if this thing is actually strong enough to hold the
It will
items.
hold all my beer, I promise you.
Nice.
Oh.
All right. I think we'll wrap up for today, folks.
Yeah, good conversation. It was a fun one.
So we'll see you guys again a couple weeks. And then we're gonna film a couple ahead, and we'll.
Timmy Savannah will be with us
Tim's
for the
gonna
next
join us on
couple
those as well.
Yeah,
so
that'll
it'll be great.
fun.
We'll film those ahead, and we'll have some in the bank. So with that being said, we'll close out. Thank you guys, and take care. Peace. Bye bye.
Thanks for listening. Visit k2d4network.com today.